RuneScape's brand new boss fight is coming and it's introducing necromancy and ranged improvements. Let's talk about the latest information shared, so whenever you're ready, grab your cup of tea, sit back, relax, and enjoy. RuneScape's newest boss is a combination of Vorkath and Zemregal, releasing on November the 20th. To gain access to this boss, you're going to need to complete a quest that has these requirements. The quest will reward you with a single quest point upon completion, in addition to permanent access to the Vorkath boss fight. The quest itself probably won't be all too long because of that single quest point reward, and part of the quest is simply fighting the boss in story mode, so essentially a far easier version that any player should be able to complete. After completing the quest, you can start the repeatable boss fight from a statue in your town hall. Now, the boss fight probably isn't what you're expecting, as it literally starts inside Fort Firenfree, or at least in story and normal mode it does. The first phase of the boss is like a pre-phase fight known as the Siege of Fort Firenfree. In the siege phase, there are 3 places of power from which Zemregal undead will permanently spawn to attack your fortress. These places of power, let's just call them portals, can be destroyed and will have an effect on the actual boss fight itself, so when you're fighting Vorkath and Zemregal. The mods wanted to leave a little bit to the imagination, but they did mention that shutting down the northern portal, or place of power, will result in no minions being able to be spawned during the actual boss fight.
If you shut down the northern place of power, Zemregal won't be able to summon minions during the fight. Spoiler for abilities.
They also mentioned that shutting down the western place of power starts the fight immediately. So if you want to start the fight quickly in normal mode and skip the siege phase, go ahead and do that. Now in hard mode, you have no options whatsoever to shut down these places of power, as you're thrown into the fight straight away. Vorkath can use all of his abilities, and you take more damage, of course, because it is hard mode. Now you're able to take on Vorkath by yourself or with a group of up to 10 players. Now on the live stream it wasn't exactly clear, they said 5 at least, possibly 10. I went ahead and checked in with the mods and made sure to confirm that yes, you can fight Vorkath with up to 10 players. According to Mod Shogun on the live stream, the boss fight will simply scale with the amount of players in the arena. So let's say the boss has 1 million HP, with 2 players that would be 2 million HP, 3 players 3 million HP, and so on. And just like Raksha, which was the example mentioned for HP scaling, everyone gets loot. So if the boss has 3 drop piles, every single player, no matter how much damage they've dealt, will get the exact same 3 drop piles. Of course, the loot will be different, but you have these same odds when doing this boss with a group. What are the drops? Well, first of all, there's going to be a brand new loot mechanic. Instead of getting drops on the floor, you'll get boss loot caskets for either story, normal, and hard mode, depending on which mode you're doing. This means you can save them up for openings, which is perfect for YouTubers and streamers, but also for players that like to collect a bunch of loot and then open it all at once. The maximum amount of caskets you can stack is 2 billion. In terms of drops, we have a brand new Necromancy ability codex, which will unlock a new incantation called Invoke Lord of Bones. This incantation will buff up your skeleton warrior for 30 seconds, where every time the skeleton hits, it will reduce the target's defense rating. This is essentially your Gothic staff or Statius Warhammer, but then for the Necromancy combat style. Vorkath will also drop a brand new tier of Dragonhide called Undead Dragonhide, which can be used to create a brand new level 75 ranged armor set known as Undead Dragonhide Armor. This armor set can be upgraded to tier 90 DPS armor, again for ranged, using spikes obtained from the boss fight. And after that, you can upgrade it again to create Elite Dracolith armor, which is tier 92 ranged DPS armor. This requires Ancient Scales, Algorithm Thread, Chaotic Spikes, and Praesolic Essence. It's possible but not confirmed that Ancient Scales might be a part of Vorkath's drop table. The tier 90 and tier 92 Dracolith armor sets have a special set effect, where per piece worn, you gain adrenaline when channeling rapid fire. Per piece worn starting from 3 pieces, you also increase your chance to critically strike after fully channeling rapid fire with bows only. This is 20% for regular Dracolith or 40% for Elite Dracolith, up to a maximum of 6.6 seconds, with 5 pieces equipped. As to not make players using Sarenic feel left out, it gains a new armor effect Monday as well, and so will the Elite Tier 92 counterpart. When wielding crossbows and using 2 or more pieces, attacks will have a 6 or 12% with Elite chance to trigger the effect of Dragonstone bolts. With 3 or more pieces, you have the same odds, but you can also trigger Onyx, so heals, or Hydrix, so adrenaline bolts as well. Dracolith is clearly the stronger armor set here, but it's still really interesting to see Sarenic getting a passive effect. By the way, it's worth noting that all caskets provide loot, although story mode will not drop the new codex or spikes to upgrade your armor. The only other drop mentioned in the post is Necromancy's first ammo slot item, or should I say an upgrade for it. Coming next Monday, the Death Order Nexus will be Necro's first pouch item in which you can store tons of Necrorunes and Ectoplasm. This item can be made at level 55 Necromancy using an Ensouled Bar, Silver Bar, and a Cut Sapphire.
I think it's 55 Necromancy. Actually, it might be 60 Necromancy. Around there.
After killing Vorkath 100 times where normal mode and hard mode kill count are combined, you obtain Zemmerregal's Nexus, which is the upgraded version. This has a passive which will add 15 extra levels on top of your Bone Shield's effectiveness. If you have 120 Necromancy, this will be a 25% shield level buff, which means higher resonance heals, as an example. And yeah, there's no 4th Conjure dropping from Vorkath, which I'll be honest, is a surprise. Unfortunately, the mods didn't share any detailed information about the boss's mechanics after the siege phase, other than teasers mentioned related to the siege phase. Mod Dragon, who made an appearance early on in the livestream, mentioned this being the biggest asset she has worked on thus far, due to Vorkath being made up of so many different things, from scales to bones and exposed flesh. And truth be told, the model does look fantastic. And yes, there's a boss pet. And it's the boss itself for once. Not like Zamorak where you get a greater demon rework model thingy. No, the boss pet is Mini Vorkath. Poggies. For the old school RuneScape players watching, Vorkath will have 4 legs instead of 3, as they couldn't find the time to design a brand new dragon rig with a limb missing. Despite this, Muldoom seemed to be very positive about the animations, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. In other news, the Vorkath Hunt Shard event will also be releasing on November the 20th, in which you're going to need to obtain 8 shards, and new this time is that you're able to repeat a certain task to gain shards until you've completed the event, which involves, you guessed it, killing Vorkath. The first shard is given after 1 kill, and after that you can gain shard after shard for every 30 kills you complete at Vorkath. Based on the shards you can get, some of which you gain for free by simply completing quests or buying one with 50 million GP, it doesn't seem like this is going to be a very extensive event to complete. With that being said, we've come to the end of this news video. If you enjoyed it and want to stay updated with the recent news, be sure to subscribe. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.